While we are getting started, so it's a beautiful day. It's the middle of January, and I think now the new year is really starting to start. I'm very excited about that. The kickoff call we did already was on the 2nd of January, and it felt a little bit like the world is still asleep. So we were ready to go into action, and hopefully you were as well, and you're up and running this year. But it's still deep and dark winter right after Christmas. I think I belong to the team. Let's move New Year's to kind of springtime. I think the Chinese have they have better timing with the New Year when nature starts to wake up. But we're moving into warmer times and spring starts new processes. We can plant seeds. I think that's something that we look forward to. And I have my big roll of hemp rope here, or like hemp yarn, like lots and lots of it. I'm gonna use it when I go planting plants this spring, some tomatoes and stuff. So I look forward to that, because we're putting hemp in every home and hemp in every garden as well. So hemp is a great thing for everything. And hemp in every home is not a wish, it's not a dream, it's our vision, but it's also a decision. So that's what we have decided to do. Those of us who are on this journey, we are. Sometimes sometimes, I mean, we have ups and downs, and those of you who are with us, who've been with us for a while, you know of some of the technical challenges that we are working on. I am literally building a new web shop for us at the moment. So looking to solve some of our shopping problems that way. So hopefully we can test it very soon. So that's being done at the moment. So I hope to bring you lots of good news on that side this year, because we are moving into the year of the horse with the new year that's coming, which I think is timed a little bit better. The Chinese New Year. And that means momentum. That means momentum. So, but to get into momentum, we need to get into action. And I think now, mid-January, days are starting to get a little bit longer, more daylight. And if you're already having some good early year habits, then energy should be returning. Some of you might be doing a detox. There was a great call yesterday in the US, a kickoff call in the US. We talked about the detox and using our products. Love that idea. I think that's something we should all consider. And we talked about getting into action on our last call. And what I've actually done is, and I would just want to share this with you, because I am a big picture person. I think big strokes, big picture, parallel kind of creativity, that's my thing. But I am dependent on structure in order to be able to do certain things. And I have my own way of organizing. I like Post-its and whiteboards and kind of Kanban boards, that type of thing. Not so much lists. Lists don't trigger action in me. So maybe 70% of people are list people. And if you're somebody who struggles with like written down lists to check them off, you might not belong to them. You might be somebody who needs maybe bigger text, different way of visualizing what you're gonna do. But we can all learn, we can all adapt. I found it tremendously useful to go back to using checkbox lists for things that I need to do, specifically for daily habits. And I have like a note-taking app, and it generates a new fresh list for me every day that I check off, and there's some detail if you open it up. Very, very cool. My morning questions are there, my exercise is there, and here's the thing, I put my products there. So morning oils, daytime oils, evening oils. So I got my CBD oils divided into 3. I get my Pure Gold and my CBG in the morning. And I may take P3 during the day, together with some of the supplements. I take some of the tablets, capsules. And in the evening, it's green, it's sleep. And what helps me to make sure that I do that is the checklist, because I will check that list off every single day. I don't go to bed unless I've checked off all of those boxes. And this is one of those things where that's helping me. So what's going to help you? What's going to help you to take the action you need to achieve your goals this year, whatever those goals are, fitness-wise, health-wise, relationships, financially, with Kanna Way, qualifying for the hemp farm. There are things to do to qualify, to reach ranks, to be, to reach PV promo. So we're going to recognize some people today. And find what triggers you, find what gets you going so that you can take those actions rather than watch something on Netflix that you've already seen, right? So that's an easy way out, but there are more rewarding things that you could be doing. All right. Here's a little, just a little video from today. I shared this in our Telegram group, but for all you to see, that's Dominic packing a box. It's going in somewhere. And that is a free travel sab, the new travel sab we have that is going to somebody. But we are sending those to everybody today and tomorrow and for all of next week. So until the end of next week, we're sending travel sabs to everyone who orders. So there you go. And now I can see my panelists. Sorry, I had, because my screen was taking up more space, I turned that screenshot off in order to see Valerie and Marielle, so I can say hi. And welcome to join me to share this Kanna Live. It's great to see Valerie. You were there last night speaking at this great US kickoff. And we talked about detox, some other things. You had some great things to share about your vision and that type of thing. What I liked about yesterday, because I was a panelist yesterday, so I got to join kind of you guys before you ran the webinar. I wasn't speaking, but I was there to be part of the bus before. There was something I really enjoyed about that. The atmosphere was fantastic. I think the vibe was just great. You and the other leaders in the US, Jeff Lazard and his wife, and Melissa. Talk about skincare again, Cannabis Beauty, those 3 products which are coming back in a bundle for us as well. Stu was there and Peter Dale. It just gave me a good feeling for this year. So and thanks for that. You did a great contribution. I thought maybe you'll share something a little bit similar because you talked about our goals and our vision as well.
Sure. Let me know when.
Now.
Oh, good. Well, hello, everyone. I'll try to speak slower for the translators. I'm so excited to be with you. And I agree with what Yanni said. When we had our kickoff call earlier this month for Europe, it's people are still coming off. Their heads aren't really like in the game as much. Timing for the States, we did it yesterday, which was kind of mid-month, and I'm finding that it's true. It takes a while for people to get from the holiday mode into business mode, and we're into that because right now we're very excited about. Yes, we have a new product offering. It's a new cannabinoid, but that was exciting. But what's exciting more is that. I really feel as we relaunched the States, just the way we did in Europe, what it took to do that in Europe, which Marielle and Peter and Richard and Shaba and Benta, the other leaders really did, Yanni, with you, is that we started to form a sense of community, okay? A sense of community of people working together, like-minded, one focus, one pathway, hemp in every home, and everything that we do has to do with that, right? So I have to say, being a part of the rollout of Kanna Way Europe, the roll of Kanna Way United States, I wanted to create that same synergy and that same vision and mission that you put ahead, Yanni, with the team for Europe. I wanted to do that, and I did do that. That was my intention, is to gather up. And I'm very thankful that Jeff and Debbie and Melissa, key leaders here in the States, others that will start to emerge. But there's really just a few of us, just like there was to relaunch Europe. But it's growing and there's excitement and people feel that excitement, but they feel more importantly, that sense of community, that is really, we are a company that matters, and we are a company with heart and integrity. and we know where we're going, and nothing's going to stop us. And so that is really what I am portraying to the team in the States. And unless you have that same, intention, then, you can be a happy product user. But, for those that are in the lead, that is what it is all about. And so I encourage all of you to continue that path, get together with your teams, create that sense of camaraderie. I love this Kanna Live. I think I love that. I want to maybe copy that too. We should do this globally. And eventually I would love to see us do this globally, because we are one company, and anyone, any place can start a business. Everyone in Europe can start a business if they want in the United States. I am here to support that. And we will take care of your people, for you. And with you. And so that's the beautiful thing. And likewise, I know the door is always open for all the leaders in Europe to welcome anyone that wants to help to build. So we are a global company, and I'm so excited about that. And I am so excited about our future. I know we are going to do really big things in 2026 because the intention has been set. That's it. And it's a year of the horse, as Peter Dale said on your call and our call here earlier this month, and he said it again yesterday. It's a year of the horse. It's a fire horse. And that means it's full speed ahead. No looking back, just full speed ahead, full intention, energy, strength, and that's what I need from all of you that are listening right now, is to be loud and proud. Know that you're with the right company, with the right colleagues, with the right leadership, in Yanni and Peter and the corporate team. And we have the greatest products and the best people. So keep that in mind, and know that this time next year, we will not be this small. So we will not. We will grow. So let's have them grow within your teams, go out, be loud and proud, and simplify the message and just share authentically. And so that's really what we're doing in the States, because I wanted to model after what you did in Europe. And thank you so much, because we are a global company. We're going to do great things this year and beyond. So that's what I'll say for now, unless you want me to chime in later.
Totally, Valerie. Thank you so much. And we are also looking forward to having you come and join us here in Europe.
Yes, I'll be in Budapest.
You'll be in Budapest. I am.
And in Poland.
We talked about, like, where do we have that Kanna coffee? I am talking to New York Palace. I would like us to do it there. So we are welcome, and we are booking it slightly earlier, so 6:00 on that Friday. I think that gives us a chance to see some of those who are there by that time, and then we can go also for dinner later.
Oh, so we're going to meet at the coffee house.
Yeah, we'll meet at the coffee house. I think it needs to be done. That was Mario's original idea.
It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah. And actually, here, I must tell you, check out Anthony Bourdain in Budapest. There's an episode where he's going to a butcher and different things. There's some really lovely footage and scenes from New York Palace and from Budapest, actually.
Yeah. When we were there the last time, Andre and I, when we were there in 2019 or whatever that was, whatever year that was, oh my gosh, my husband loves sweets. So you can't go into that place and not say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this.
Budapest is amazing for the cafes and for the cakes.
Oh my goodness.
Poppy seed cake, Esterhazy cake.
So no dieting that weekend, folks. Yeah. Sorry. No dieting. I will.
And there goes consistency.
Just one day we can cheat. That's our cheat day.
Because Lent will be over. It's after Easter, so I think we can,
yes, it
then
is.
do our reset. Yeah, well, then we all go on a massive beach body diet after that. So here's another thing. I talked about the checklist. One other item I had there is exercise, and I've made it simple this time around. It's just that. So every single day I need to check it off, and I have things that I do. Effective, quick things. I don't have a lot of time to exercise, so it's kettlebells and that type of thing, burpees. And I get I get a surprise every time I really start working out how quickly the body responds to it. And it has to do with that momentum you create. It's the same when you really start doing consistency, as Mariel said. The results might not be there day 1, day 2, day 3, but after a little while it kicks in and suddenly you're like, oh, why haven't I been doing this? It is the same with the business. But I said this thing about the exercise, actually there's a link to our products I want to mention, and missing piece for some people who are taking our products, who are looking for solutions to feel better, to fix their health, and they're taking maybe some health products, they're taking our oils, and they will help, but they will not be as effective unless you are also giving your body the needed movement. Our bodies are built to move and to work. And if you're only sitting on chairs and scrolling, if you only move our thumb, it doesn't help our muscles, our heart, our blood, the circulation. It doesn't help the systems. The lymph needs to move toxins out, right? There's a lot of stuff that requires movement. And our products will work better when you do that. The endocannabinoid system will support all of these functions, but you need to help it, and you need to also make sure that you're finding some way of getting exercise. And if you're already doing it, great. If you're not, find something that's fun. There's something for everybody. So this said, there's an area for those of us who are guys, us men. If you look at the names here, I'm glad to see a few men, but our business, our company is dominated customer-wise and brand ambassador-wise by women, which is fantastic. And I find it easier to introduce CBD to women than to men. There's a little bit of an extra threshold sometimes for men. Recently, my father-in-law started taking P3. First product I've managed to get him to take. He's married to a nurse who's been very reluctant to do anything that is not school medicine. As you might know, they're both retired. I managed to get her to take some Sleep 3. But father-in-law has, plays a lot of golf. And only a few days after starting to take P3, I actually got the message that he said that I don't know if it's a product, but I don't have any stiffness in my fingers anymore. Seems like it's doing something. And that it was the only thing he had changed. A little bit later, this is within 2 weeks, like, oh my gosh, I have no pain anymore because he's got some kind of rheumatoid arthritic pain, which is not fun if you play a lot of golf, which he does. One of those retired people who will play golf if he can. Like any day that allows him to play golf, he will be there. But that pain is, adding an extra burden. So it was within 2 weeks. I think it was just over a week, and the pain was gone. And so we have a new fan there. So there are a lot of men out there, his age, my age, past 50, who are starting to feel the changes, who are starting to feel that they need to do something. We need to reach them. They are maybe doing the exercise part. Maybe they're taking some supplements, but they need to feed their endocannabinoid system. And that's a conversation that me and Mariel have been talking about a little bit. And we're looking to do something aimed towards men. And so, Mariel, I know you're thinking about it. Maybe this is about Peter. I don't know. You want to keep him alive for another 100 years, but so I'm very excited. You've been developing kind of some content, some ideas, something to do with the male health actually, and how we can talk to them, how we can reach them.
Yeah, you got that right. I have. And it's actually entirely based on loss of sales on my part. For me, this all started with language, just like you just described, Janne, your father-in-law. It is the language, the verbiage that has to be different for men than it is for the rest of us. I spend a lot of time every day answering questions about different illnesses, pains, aches. It's not so much about what's my solution. It's more about why am I feeling like this? And so I have come to a conclusion, and this is actually quite a simple observation. I think many of us have this experience. When a woman hears about a product or a concept, they ask, how is this going to help me? But you know, when a man hears the same thing, they ask, why would I need this? And the difference is not really resistance, it's identity. And this, for me, was the learning curve that started this all. You know, as a brand ambassadors, we are not just recommending a product, we are translating a value, which is a lot bigger concept than just a simple product. And when it comes to men, it's the language that decides whether they can lean in towards the value or just shut it down, as one of the female thingamajigs that they keep on pushing on men. Most men are deeply, deeply wired around function. It's about being capable, being reliable, being useful, being productive, holding things together. So when we approach men with language like stress, burnout, hormonal imbalance, pain, fatigue, emotional overload, many of them actually hear, I'm failing at life. You know, that's not a place where anybody is willing to move forward. If you are constantly living a life where you feel that you are failing, there is no moving forward from that, because all it does is create an environment of disappointment and failure, as said. Men generally do not respond to being told they need help. They respond to being shown how to stay effective, how to improve performance, how to improve stamina, resilience. That is why the different words matter. And it's the words that I have been working on that is also based on a personal experience, which you, by the way, just now reaffirmed for me, Anne. So thank you for that. The thing is that instead of saying this will fix, I gotta say this will optimize. Instead of healing, we talk about recovery. Instead of stress management, we talk about resilience. Instead of balance, which is a wonderful, wonderful word that applies to every one of us, regardless the gender. But with men, we talk about stability. Instead of self-care, we talk about maintenance. Think about how you guys are treating your cars and your tools and your equipment. Maintenance is not a weakness. Maintenance is responsibility. Self-care is a weakness for a man, not in action, but the weakness is in the word, how you hear the word. But if you talk about responsibility, you are talking about a whole different topic. You don't want to be told, men, they do not want to be told they're broken. They want to know how to stay sharp, dependable, capable over time. Now, if I can take a few minutes of your time, I'd like to make this very real for us. I'd like to talk about a real conversation and then talk about the sales that I lost. So here is a comfortable chair for me to open up. Early on, I made a very concrete mistake. I spoke from my own understanding instead of my audience's mindset. I was talking about relief, but I was using the wrong words. Relief is important. It's like the results of your father-in-law. 2 weeks down the road, he was saying, I'm performing better. The message was, I am doing better. I am more capable today. It wasn't that the inflammation is gone. Give it a good season ahead of us for golf, and he's going to be discussing how P3 is supporting him, lowering his par. And that speaks to men. So I used to explain things like inflammation, stress, imbalance, support, long-term health. And the reaction for the men in my audience was, let's call it polite silence. No follow-up, no questions, no purchase. And that's because they checked out entirely. At first, I thought that the interest is not there, which is natural. But that was not true. My learning is that the interest is there. This is a huge audience for us, but my language was wrong. So here's my key insight on that. Men and women have all the same issues. Our bodies are so similar that we are facing the same issues. We just don't describe them the same way. And this matters deeply because before a man ever talks to you, he has already searched his problem. And the search words that he's using are quite eye-opening. When woman is searching for something, they go with, why do I have chronic inflammation? How do I support joint health? Best supplements for long-term pain relief. This is female. What about a man? Knee pain when walking. And this is actually search engine data for you. That's the set of search words. Knee pain when walking. Not the, why is this coming from? Not the, how do I in the long term avoid this? It's just a simple statement of what is going on. Or how to stop shoulder pain. But it's not about the overarching issues resulting to what they have. It is just a simple factual statement of whatever they need to find. And here's an important word, a solution for. It's the same issue, but different words and different intent. Men will never search for understanding. They search for solution. And please understand when I'm saying this is not me talking about how men are treating world differently. They don't want to have the deep understanding. Oh my goodness, they do. It is me being very disappointed in myself because I lost sales. Men are not asking what is happening to my body. They are asking, how do I make this stop so I can function? So the intention in here is different. If we lead with explanations for men, they tune out. They just lose interest enough to listen because they start hearing the fact that they failed. But if you talk about an outcome, they will lean in. And this is where we need to become very precise in Kanna, in my opinion. Because this is where we unintentionally lose an audience. Not because the products aren't right. Oh my goodness, they really are. But because the verbiage, the wording we are using and the complexity is wrong. Explaining too much makes me lose. Not because the men did not have the issues, but because I didn't speak their language. They don't search optimal wellness. They want relief, function, and the results. And that is why narrowing my wording or my recommendation matters a lot. I'm so happy you brought up P3 because based on what I have found out in terms of practical experience, but also in terms of the research that I've done on this to improve myself is that instead of pure gold, I'm going to go with P3 because it communicates strength, precision, and simplicity. And because it's one of the most powerful products in the portfolio that we have. I do know that we have a product with higher CBD content. The active applicator is there. But the overall efficacy of P3 is remarkable and it works so well in the wording that is needed for men. So we don't start by saying this supports balance and long-term well-being. We go with this is for pain relief and recovery. So you can move and function without constantly thinking about it. It's not even bringing up the fact that this will help you with pain. It is about the performance. Explanations will come later. Just like in your example, Janne, just now. Your father-in-law came back to you, and that is a door opener for a short but deeper conversation regarding the product. The same applies to sleep. When talking to men, I avoid stacking products because I want to avoid long protocols. Use Sleep 3. One product, one purpose. From search engine research, I found out that it is almost never that men are searching with words like circadian rhythm. Almost never. They search for can't sleep, literally, by the way. The highest for sleep disturbances, the highest global search word that men are using is can't sleep. And the second highest is wake up tired. And that's quite interesting. It was actually in some articles, it was mentioned that if they used wake up tired, that should have the highest position in the list. But it describes the depth of the problem, that it is the other way around. They actually do search for can't sleep. So my wording is, this will help you fall asleep faster, sleep through the night, and then wake up being ready for the day. Not that this is a product that will support relaxation and balance. I have personally done wonderful science and products calls around sleep, and I have used all the words that I shouldn't use for men. So I need to redo the whole thing, because I understand that the verbiage, the wording that I chose, is wrong. And then if we go to CBG, the problem is there. Men also need that product a great deal, but I can't talk about uplifting or supportive or focus, helping with focus. I gotta call it clarity for daytime, higher performance capability, focus without stimulation. There are other words for men. Whereas if I'm telling the story for women, it's about focus and well-being and balance and no turbulence in your brains and all kinds of lists of wording. For men, CBG is not about feeling something, it is about removing interference in their headspace. The conversations are completely different because words that are needed are completely different. Now, for what I found out in all of this is that as brand ambassadors, my role, our role, is not to provide thorough education, to take hemp in every home. Our role is to translate value. And when we use language men can relate to, like performance, maintenance, resilience, stamina, and recovery, we don't need to convince. They recognize themselves in the message. This isn't about making things dumb. It's about precision, and precision is what unlocks the male market. I believe in Kanna Live, the shift is not optional today. It is essential for us moving forward with intention.
Yeah, very good. Lots to unpack there. Great topic. We are working on something that's gonna support this whole narrative. We're not just talking about this randomly now. There's a pack being prepared, which will support this whole conversation and more content to kind of guide guys towards a protocol or a program or something to help them use the product properly. If you are targeting, let's say, a group of men or so forth. And that's interesting. I had a lunch with Bente recently in Denmark, and was great to hear her kind of explain how she presents products and so forth. She sells a lot of pure gold, and it's mostly groups of women, but she will sometimes have a group of men as well. And it is a different audience. It is a different way of looking at things. So with that comes also, opportunities for us to then, adapt to that, to the person who's in front of us, and be more effective. So, and talk about the focus and results and so forth. You talked about B3, fantastic. There is the stronger product, the active applicator. Let me just say this for those who are looking for specific results, and I think a lot of men are. Sharpness. There is something about active applicator and that mental clarity and sharpness, which is quite cool. So if someone's looking really for an edge, and that's what they're looking for, to be considered. The other thing is breaking free from addictions. So from a therapeutic point of view, there are a lot of great uses for the active applicators. we do know that a lot of people struggle with unhealthy habits and kind of addictive behaviors, and maybe in January they want to do something about it. So that is a product that will help, and actually, obviously putting your endocannabinoid system to balance will help. So it refers to all products, but there's something extra in that strong beta caryophyllene, strong CBD kind of mix that the active applicator is. I want to mention the vape. We launched a new vape last year. It's done really well. We're getting onto our second batch from production. Coming through, it's the balanced one, which has natural terpenes. We are actually going to introduce one more type of vape this spring. So this is not for now. We are not going to be able to order it today, but I do want to already get you to think about and to talk to more men. You can start doing that right now, right after the call, right? But also younger people. There's another type of vape that will be launched, and it's going to be more attractive, more appealing to younger audiences. Strong CBD content, great flavors, natural terpenes, a couple of kind of Asian fruits in there as well, so that's coming up. So let's start just listing categories of people we're maybe not talking to today, because many of us, I think, are usually targeting middle-aged, or we're kind of going a little bit higher in age, but not as much the 20 somethings. And by fixing our web shop, we're suddenly gonna be right in their faces as well. We'll just go back and capture that entire audience, talk to everybody. So that's gonna come up. So we need to get ready for a completely different reality in Kanna way. We're so used to certain groups of people maybe not having the patience to kind of order, because it's a little bit complicated and isn't just click. But it's worth it at the moment, but it's gonna get so much easier when we fix those things. So get ready for that. You're in the right place at the right time. And so that's coming up. We are also, as I said, putting together a pack for men. We are heading towards a great little day before Chinese New Year, and it's the Valentine's Day. Sometimes seen as a very commercial thing. We buy stuff again, but it is a day that celebrates love and relationships, and so we'll get it like that. Pain-free, happy relationships. Maybe a hint ahead of time. So start thinking of how to spread the love when we approach Valentine's Day, to get active, and how to make use of some opportunities that might be coming up. We are going to have a fantastic year, but what I like to share with you now, and go back and share my PowerPoint, is though a few of those people who ended the year strongly and who've qualified for some of the adventures we are going to do this year. And I think I'm sharing my screen, guys, who are coming with us. So this fantastic year includes going to the hemp farm again. It's a brilliant adventure. You're never going to regret going to our hemp farm experience. To experience the hemp field, see the production, and understand how the products are made, where they come from, how everything keeps developing and moving forward, both from growing it to making it. Visit our warehouse and have fun together as a community. The last year, as you've probably seen, we had opportunity to plant some hemp. This year we are hopefully timing it right so we can harvest and have a harvest party. So we have some people who are qualified already, and here's a lady who qualified for the hemp farm area, but she's now also travel qualified. So there's a way to qualify for the actual hemp farm visit, but also to get a travel voucher, 250 euros, which contributes towards your travel to get there, because you're going to Yaroslav in Poland, cool place in southeast Poland. So Marita Matikainen in Finland, very well done, congratulations. Also a new qualifier for the hemp farm experience from December is Justina Graini. She qualified through the PV route, which means she did over 5,000 points last quarter, and one of those months over 3,000. So great job, Justina. Thank you for doing that and qualifying for the hemp farm experience. We also had Marko Korhonen, probably very familiar for anybody who's been on social media and the Telegram group during December. Seen a lot of creative posts. He qualified for the hemp farm, and well done, Marco. He did it by also going senior. So in the early bird qualifications, achieving the rank of senior director allowed you to qualify for the hemp farm. So well done, Marco. Onnittelut, hienosti saatu tämä nyt tehtyä nyt tästä vaan eteenpäin. Great job, Marco. Here's the list of all the people who have already qualified. So the early bird was very successful. A lot of qualifiers. A lot of Poland, a lot of Finland. Got Germany, Hungary, Romania, UK, Greece. Represented. Denmark is there as well. So Bentes qualified. So we just looking at these names, I'm so excited, so much looking forward to this trip, and I really can't wait to see you all, plus whoever else we're gonna bring. So here's the thing now.
Mariel, do you see the screen?
Can you see the screen?
No.
No? Oh.
Mariel.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No. So you were. I just wanted to make sure if you wanted to share those.
Yeah, I was sharing
slides, please.
stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Go ahead. Put it. Open it up again.
All right. No.
Oh, there you go.
No. Okay. Sorry, guys. Haven't done this Zoom webinars in a while. We lose track of what's happened. Here we go.
It's a team sport.
Yep. So yeah, Marita here. Beautiful picture of Marita who's qualified. So this must be from Prague years ago, because I recognize that background there. And the travel voucher, Justina, hemp farm qualified. Marco, hemp farm qualified. And here again, Marco, senior director. So there we go. And here was the list. So now you can see Marita, Anna-Maria, Kristina Benjaminson in Finland, Peter V, who's helping us today. There's some German translation going on. Beate in Germany, Susanna, Finland, Richard, Poland, Marielle, Christina in Poland, Claire in the UK, Csaba, Veronica in Hungary, Anna-Maria, Romania, Alina and Leszek in Poland, Anna in Poland, Manna in Poland, and the Greece, Christos, Bente, Denmark, Marco, and Justina, Poland. So we need more. This is great. I'm not satisfied. We need to double this group and then double it again and have a great party on the hemp field. We are also running a PD promo. I just want to highlight those who achieved retail ranks, as we call them. So there's something called a retail rank, and we're just doing this as a recognition thing, and it matches those who achieve the PD promo, which been running now for a few months. And we're still running it, so it applies in January. You do over 1,000 points, you're gonna get an extra reward based on the volume. And then these ranks are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. We've had a lot of bronzes since we introduced the retail ranks. So again, both Annas who are qualified for the hemp farm from Poland. I've got a lot of Polish names here. I say Peter here. Helena Pirkkonen, Finland, Gitte in Denmark, Grete, Denmark, Ilya Shakos, Hungary, Ivona Jacek, Poland, Janina, Poland, Jonas, I think, Speicher, Germany, yes. Katalin Giros, Hungary, Kristina in Finland, Krishna Wojcik, Poland again, Pierre Manch in France, Marek, Poland, Maria Georgiak in Hungary. We have Marielle in Finland, well done. Leading by example, not just building a big team, but also doing the PV part. Marta Badjain is Austria, I think. Personal balancing, Germany. Edith Piakovic in Hungary. Rafał Wrobel, Poland, Stefan Svensson in Sweden, Victoria Klug, Germany. This is Angelika Sigonopoulos, as you can see. And in Greece, Marielle, Finland, and Marta in Austria. At the silver rank, Alexandra Fratila in Romania, and Laszlo Feher in Hungary. So really good job there. That's over 2,000 points in a month. We had the Leszek Kus do gold. That's 3,000 points in a month. We're getting to some really nice high levels of retail sales. Justina Graini, also in Poland, gold. As you saw, she qualified for Ham Farm using personal volume. And then in Greece, Christos Chiginopoulos, who achieved platinum. That's 4,000 points in a month. And then Bente, who very regularly does 5,000 points a month. So we'll have her share one of our upcoming calls, how you do that. Now, before we do that, I'm going to stop sharing the screen again. So well done, everybody. Great to see all of those names. We'll keep going. Marielle, what are some of the things to consider now? So we're bringing out programs. I know you're talking detox to some people. We're discussing here how to approach a group that we need more from, like more qualifiers, more male names on the list to come to the Hem Farm with us. I don't mind. I'll have fun, dance with the ladies on the hem fields, but let's get some guys over there. So from what you can see now, heading into the new year, what are some of the key topics for us to achieve our goals?
That is a mammoth of a topic, at least for me personally. I gotta start by being honest. I don't do New Year's resolutions. I don't agree to them. I think they are setting myself up for a failure. But I do think that a goal removes pressure. I believe a goal actually creates freedom. What actually creates the pressure is the absence of a goal for me. I think because if I don't have a goal, I have no direction. Everything feels urgent. It changes my scope of thinking from being point on where I'm going to having everything compete for my energy. Everything in my head is tumbling around at the same time. And so the brain never switches off. I think New Year's resolutions make us fail, not because we lack ability, but because we drift. So I think where we are standing right now is the most perfect moment of setting goals. The most perfect moment of pinpointing what it is that we are going to be doing. What am I doing now, next month, and this year? Resolutions are very vague. They are vague and emotional. You know, I decide, I'm going to get healthier this year, or I'm going to make more money this year. And this resolution is based on pressure and temporary burst of motivation. Motivation is very unreliable. It's a fickle friend. And then if there's guilt or vague setup for my goals or thoughts, my brain, and yours, by the way, also not. Our brain cannot execute vague instructions. We have to know where we are going. Not to mention that resolutions are isolated. They are mine, but they're not connected to a structure. They're not connected to support. They're not connected to a community and an environment. And then people try to change alone. That's a sad place to be in. I think what Valerie started with this today was so powerful. We are a community. That is fantastic because we are not doing this alone, none of us. And this is also where goals are different. And I think also, unfortunately, or lucky me, this is where my 3 words come to play: clarity, intention, and consistency. With clarity, noise turns to focus, At Kanna Live, it's so easy to be busy. We're taking hemp in every home. There's messages, there's goals, there's conversations, there's content, there's products, there's events. But busy is not always the same as moving forward. Clarity is founded in the ability, the very foundation of it is the ability that you have to answer one and just one question. What are you building towards right now? It may be extra income, rank advancement, confidence, freedom of time, a stronger team. Clarity is your menu of choices. It doesn't limit you, it frees you. It absolutely gives you freedom to work on what you want to be working on. And then I think the next step is intention. Once you know what you want, your brain stops negotiating with every other option available. And then intention is where this freedom shows up in your everyday choices. And it decides how you use your time, how I use my time. Who do I talk to? What do I say yes to? And maybe, my friends, most importantly, I can stop apologizing for all the things that I say no to. I have made my choice today, say yes. I have chosen my goal, and I will, with the strongest intention there is, to move towards that goal. So intention turns activity into strategy. It removes all guilt, it removes all chaos, and it creates the calm, grounded confidence of knowing this is where I want to be because this is where this will take me to. And then consistency it's not about intensity, it's reliability, basically. Consistency is showing up for Kanna Live. Consistency is about opening up your mouth. But consistency is also what keeps you from starting over every single Monday. Have you heard of a New Year's resolution where you decide, oh, I'm going to lose all the weight I need to lose, and you start over every Monday until on the third Monday of January, you give up because it didn't work? Consistency is what makes freedom sustainable. So I think today the most important question is, why now? Why with Kanna Live? Why this moment? This is not a random start of the year. This is a window for you and for me. We have direction. We have structure. We have a strategy. We have momentum today. We have just seen recognitions that verify the fact that there is momentum. What we have also is events that matter. You gotta be in Budapest in April, not maybe, not perhaps, not someday. You gotta be there. And you gotta get yourself to the hemp farm. See what you are actually connected to. Because that will help you understand the depth of what you are building and the absolute advantage that you have at your hands with Kanna Live and with the products that will help us take hemp in every home. I don't think we should do it alone. I think we should take someone with us. You take someone with you, I take someone with me. That's not a resolution. You see the difference? You're not alone with it. It has nothing to do with the fickle motivation of if you want it now or maybe not tomorrow, etc. It is a very clear goal with clarity. That's intention and consistency built right into the environment that we exist in today in this community at Kanna Live. I'd like to finish with a quote because there's wisdom in other people's words. I'm quoting Earl Nightingale. He's one of the pioneers in self-development industry. He was there before social media. He was there before personal development was trendy. He was there working with sales organizations, and he was studying why some people consistently move forward while others are drifting. His work has shaped how goal setting and leadership, for that matter, are understood today. One of his most famous quotes, and one of my personal favorites, is that people with goals succeed because they know where they are going to. That sentence matters because it removes emotion from success. It doesn't talk about talent. It, thank goodness, does not talk about luck. It talks about direction. People without goals don't fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are undecided. Let you and I be decided today. It's not about what you want. It's about knowing what you want. So today, we gotta decide with clarity and intention to be in Budapest in April. We gotta decide to get ourselves to the hemp farm. We gotta decide to take someone with us, not as a wish, not as a resolution, as a goal. Because the moment you decide where you're going to, effort stops leaking and momentum begins. Goals don't trap you, they will free you, they protect you. They protect your time, your energy, and your focus. Clarity gives direction. Intention gives control. Consistency creates freedom. And that is why now, today, at Kanna is exactly the right time to be and to set your goals. I know this was a lot of words. I understand that this is a concept that many of us are thinking about and struggling with. If there is one takeaway for you from all of these words today, it is that it is clear understanding of where you are going to that is needed. After that comes intention on what you do, and that will allow you to focus your energy, focus your activities to what is important for you to reach your goal. And then there is consistency, which is taking the steps one at a time, every time. Luckily, we have a structure and strategy supporting that. I think this is what I feel is very important today. I think this is what I am working on today for myself and for this year. And I hope this is that will give you the wings to fly.
Yep, that's so true. Yeah, these aren't only words, though. Like, the thing is, words are magic. They shape everything. So how you think about and talk about your life, your future, is what you're creating. And so by making those goals, decisions, by designing your future as they are going to be, that's your standing, that there's no, you don't leave room for what we would call failure, for like a scenario that is different than what you actually want. That's how you get there. You figure that out first. You clarify your intention. You clarify that you're going to be there with us at the hemp farm first. When that locks in, when that's clear, then the path there gets very clear. It's much easier. You start talking automatically. It's not a struggle. You don't need to worry about who I'm going to talk to. It's just going to happen.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I look forward to seeing you in Budapest. Tickets are only 15 euros. And this month we have the PV promo running. We have hemp farm qualifications running. I'm not going to share the details. The details are available. If you need help, ask. Talk to somebody who knows. Talk to your upline. And state your intentions. Make it clear. And get going. So we get to see you on those recognition pictures and lists, and especially on our fun trips and in Budapest and hemp farm and so forth. But all of that feeds into our vision of hemp in every home, which we are going to do. So please join us. This was a great Kanna Live. Next time will be on the 19th of February. I had a slide about it. I'm not gonna necessarily share it. Maybe I can just quickly do it actually. Now we there we go. It is oops. Okay. No. Oh no. Nope. It didn't work. 19th of February. All right, until then, have a great second half of January. Let's get to work.
Let's get to work.
Bye.